Everybody, it's Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show, and it is early, and I'm at the airport here in West Palm Beach. I'm on my way to Calgary, Canada. I'm going to be doing some talks there this weekend, so if you're in that area, get on my website and check it out. When I get back, I'm going to get ready and then head to Australia. I'm excited about that. But today's video, I want to talk about a very interesting topic because, you know, when will people learn? The people in the raw food community, they're so stuck on 100%, and even the people that are promoting it and speaking it claim to be 100%, but we have to be honest because for me, I believe integrity is everything, and I see a real big issue out there today in the raw food movement because I personally met a lot of people in the raw food world, and I've never met anyone, including myself, who's been strictly 100% raw over the years, whether it's on purpose or by mistake. We're eating some cooked food. The cashews that are labeled raw aren't really truly raw. Many of the almonds are pasteurized, and there are some things that we think are raw, but later we find out they're not. So we have to be honest here. I mean, there's no difference between being 99% raw and 100% raw, number one. But this is just another thing that people, they want to say they're 100% raw when they're really not. And why does this matter? Well, it matters because, it puts in somebody's mind that they need to be 100% raw, and anything less is not good enough. And that's just not true. I mean, you could be even 80% raw. You don't have to be 99 or 100% raw to be healthy. As a matter of fact, most people today that eat a raw diet are not healthy, including the promoters. The problem is, that just because it's raw is not healthy. The raw food diet is not a panacea. And that's a problem we have today because people, unfortunately, believe it is, and this leads them on a very deceptive path. I say we shouldn't call this a raw food diet. We should call it a fresh food diet. Because when you call it a raw food diet, people think as long as it says raw, it's okay. And then I had my great joke that I said, before you know it, they're going to be selling raw water. And now they're selling raw water. Now, I'm not saying the raw water is bad. I mean, it's good from what it sounds. It's much better than some of the waters out there. However, when we look at what's labeled raw and we look at what's out there, definitely everything that's raw is not healthy. When I go to the health food store and I see these raw food candy bars and I read the ingredients, and then you can see all these raw food snacks on the websites and everything else. Those foods are not healthy foods. I mean, they're okay for snacks. I mean, if you're going to eat a snack, that's what you do. I mean, I'm at an airport now. I'm going on a plane. Having a raw snack is fine. But if that becomes a majority of my diet and I hold on to I'm 100% raw, well, that's going to create an issue. And, who knows if those things are truly raw? We don't know what's going on in the company. And for all those people out there that say they're 100% raw, the raw food promoters and everything else, if you're listening to them, understand, we don't know what somebody does in the privacy of their own home. So we have to be really careful with that. Now, I say I've been on a 100% raw vegan diet for 15 years. And to my knowledge, I have been. But I know over the years I ate some cashews that might not have been technically raw, and I didn't stress out over it. I would have stressed out over it if I would have claimed to be all raw and really wasn't. But I just see what's happening out there. I know there are even some raw food promoters that, not only are they not raw, but they're not even eating healthy foods. So I have to, give a special New York big up to people like Brian Clement, who's a raw food promoter of the raw food diet and lifestyle, who openly says he doesn't eat 100% raw and he doesn't have an issue with it. So we have to be careful about this. And I know as as an author and somebody wanting to help people, and I'm doing this because I had a disease and I don't want to see people suffering from disease. So I know, like, over the years, I mean, if I wanted to test something out, and that's why when I recently started to eat cooked foods, I tested it out first to see how I responded, to see how other people responded before I went and announced it. And yes, I was, on a 100% raw diet to my knowledge over the years. But technically I'm sure I wasn't 100% raw. But, Brian Clement, of Hippocrates Health Institute, says he eats cooked food. And there are a lot of other raw food promoters out there that I have in my show often that say they eat cooked food. And understand this, cooked food is not as bad as people say it is. If it was, none of us would be here today because the majority of our lives we spent eating cooked food. It's the type of food, and I say we should be eating a fresh food diet. It's very interesting. I always study not a raw food diet, a fresh food diet, because raw today, as I said, is not healthy. But a fresh food diet, as I was saying, is very interesting. I study the scriptures, and to me, that's just about like everything. And in the scriptures it says not to eat food more than 3 days old. It says you can eat it the day you make it, you can eat it the next day, but don't eat it on the third day. Throw it out because it's just not healthy. You lose so many nutrients in the food. So then, I look at now fruits and vegetables are different because you could pick them, and yes, the sooner you eat them, the better they are. But you can get by, a week or so leaving them on your counter or something. Even though most of the produce that's found in a health food store is a lot older than a week or two. But when you look at these dehydrated bars, when you look at a lot of these other things, these things have been on the shelves for who knows how long. I mean, my number one rule is if it comes in a bag, container, box, can, or bottle, you got to be suspect if that should be ideal food for your body, especially if it doesn't have an expiration date on it. Now, we're not even going to talk about the non-raw processed foods out there, but there's a lot of raw, what I call raw junk food out there that people are coming with an issue with. Here's the thing. People say they're 100% raw, and they want to maintain this so-called 100% raw food status because they heard somebody did it and they want to do it and they think it's a panacea. But then they'll go somewhere to like a cold environment and they'll have a choice between like a raw food candy bar or steamed vegetables or a soup. And I'm telling you, if that soup is fresh or those steamed vegetables are fresh, that's going to be much better for your body than that raw food, junk food. So we have to be careful and we have to be honest. To me, integrity is an important part of this. And there are a lot of people out there that in the raw food movement, in the health field in general, that just lack integrity. So be honest, everyone out there, because it's more than just physical health. It's also physical, emotional, and spiritual health. And to all you teachers out there that have, stayed out of the raw closet and said you eat cooked food, or you admit that it's impossible to be so pure in this world today because of many of the things out there, and to your knowledge you might be eating the best you could do, but 100% raw, come on guys. All right, everybody, this is Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show. Again, I'm going to Calgary right now, so if you're heading up to Calgary or if you're in that area, come check me out. I'll be there this weekend. All that information on my website. And get ready, Australia, here I come in a couple of weeks. I'll be coming out there. Tomorrow's question and answers, everybody, so leave your questions below this video or one of my other videos this week, and I'll get to them tomorrow. And everybody, until then, have a great day and a great raw life. Hello everybody, it's Paul Neeson. You're not going to believe this one. I got up very early this morning to go out to Calgary, and I get out in the plane very early this morning, and then I get to Texas, which is where my stopover was, and I'm walking on the other plane, and they told us not to get on the plane. The flight was canceled. Now, the weather's usually bad in Calgary, Canada in like January, but it's usually good around now, but it's like springtime. But they have this crazy storm out there now, so they canceled the flight. First I thought they were canceling the flight because of the way I looked, and they didn't want me on the plane, but they just canceled the flight, and they said I wouldn't get on the flight tonight, probably not even tomorrow. I'd have to go standby. So I had a choice, and I just came back to West Palm Beach. So I apologize to everyone in Calgary, Canada. I'm not going to get out there. I will reschedule. And thank you for signing up for my lecture anyway. But in the meantime, tomorrow is question and answers. If you have question and answers, anyone in Calgary or anywhere, just post your comments below the videos, and I'll take your question and answers. And this is the first time something like this has happened to me in all my travels, so this is the first time for everything. So I apologize for that. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and it's a sad thing that happened today, but I'm glad to be here in this nice weather and not being stuck in that storm there. All right, everybody, this is Paul Neeson, Raw Life Health Show. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day and a great raw life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your